What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be working on the antenna on the Prelude. I've actually already removed it, as you can see here, by the giant hole in my rear fender. But I'm going to show you guys real quick what I did to remove it, what I'm going to do, because there were a few different options I was looking into doing when it came to deleting the OEM power antenna. Now, I like the OEM antenna. I think having a working power antenna is pretty cool, but as of late, my antenna has just been going up and down really slowly, and like it doesn't want to go up all the way, it doesn't want to go down all the way, so it's just been showing its signs of age, and I wanted to maybe just change it up. So basically what I did was research a bunch and come to find out there's really no universal antennas that just like screw onto the top because of how the Prelude antenna is, just basically how it was built. So what I'm thinking about doing is just deleting the whole entire motor and assembly, and then getting some sort of a grommet or some sort of a plug to fill this. Basically what I read online is that the 88 and the 89 Honda Preludes, somewhere right back here, I think right kind of behind this, there's actually an antenna on the back of the windshield. And apparently if you just take out the entire trunk antenna assembly, it will still work pretty well with just the rear windshield antenna. But as I was told, that's only good if you have the 88 or 89 Honda Prelude. I believe if you have the 90 or 91 third gen Prelude, it just doesn't have the rear windshield antenna, so you'd be totally without radio at that point. But if you guys have any other ideas on how to replace it, maybe do like a little stubby antenna or whatnot, put it down in the comments. I would definitely still be interested in doing that. But like I said today, I just removed the antenna. I'm gonna go ahead and probably turn the car on real quick and see how the radio works with it and totally just unplugged. And if it works well, then I will just go ahead and buy a grommet and plug that for now and run off the rear windshield antenna. Now, pardon my dirty trunk and fishing gear back here, but this is the power antenna assembly. It's massive. It even comes with its own little drain plug right there. So anyways, it's really simple to get it off. You have this little screw right up top up here, and what you want to do, or what I did, was take well, let me show you. It's got these little tiny ridges in it that you want to use to spin it out like you would a screw, and what I used was actually some pliers, opened it up to just about the width of it, stuck it in there, and just spun it that way. And once you have it out most of the way, then it will just unscrew itself and it's easy. Then you have one 10 mil bolt that goes onto the motor assembly, and you'll find that basically right here. So just unbolt that, and then you can disconnect the little cable here that runs into the antenna. That is the antenna itself. So just undo that, and then you can pull out this entire assembly. It's that easy. So I guess for starters, let's just hop in the Prelude with the whole assembly removed and just see how the radio works, and make sure that we're not getting any like warning lights or anything because it's unplugged. That would just be a nuisance. I don't think I actually need to turn the car on for this, but I will go ahead and turn on the radio and see if that works. Where'd it go? Radio. Okay.
Oh boy. Wow.
First one is
okay, like it works. It just, I don't know if it's, or it seems like it's not picking up very many channels.
services than any.
But it does pick up channels. I don't know. So maybe this wouldn't be like the most permanent. Yeah, it's just searching through the entire list of channels right now. Okay. So maybe if you're a big time lover of listening to the radio while you're in the car, this might not be the best mod for you unless you are replacing it with an actual antenna. But like I said, for my purposes, I don't really use it, and I can get by with just this rear windshield antenna or whatever it has. So with that being said, basically just gonna tidy this up so it doesn't go flying around in the trunk when I drive the car. And we're just gonna go ahead to the, I don't know, auto parts store, hardware store, and try and find something that we can use to, I don't know, plug this hole. Okay, well, I don't know, well, before I get copyrighted, I don't know if any of you guys on the channel or watching right now are radio junkies and understand radio frequency, but I'd still get a lot of channels and they come in crystal clear, but only on the bottom, hold on, driving stick here, only on the bottom or the lower numbers, lower channels, and on the high channels, the higher numbers, so, or frequencies, I guess that's what I'm trying to say and sound smart. They only show up on the higher frequencies. And just like that, we're back home with a bag of goodies. I ran over different ideas that I would have to actually fill this hole. They didn't really have the nice little plug that I wanted that would kind of look like a washer without this hole in it, and then it would just kind of sit right and wedge itself in between this groove here. Something along these lines, if that will focus, something along like that, but with a cover on the top that would just sit pretty much nice and flush over here. Since they didn't have that, I thought of a few different ideas. One would be this rubber cork looking thing, which I'm probably not going to use, but it was kind of a worst case scenario. You could essentially put the cork in there and then probably just want to hammer or mallet it down a little bit so that way it sits, you know, a little more flush without going all the way through. But I actually did a little bit more searching around the hardware store and figured out this little situation here. So I bought this one, which unfortunately is too small. So I'll just set that as well as the cork aside for now. And what I'm planning on doing here is I picked up this little cap. It's just a plastic, hard plastic with a screw coming out of it, some sort of a cap. And I picked up this grommet with a little groove in the middle, so that way it will sit really nicely on either side of this and just hold on to it. And then a rubber washer just to go underneath, and then a metal washer to butt the screw up against that I'm going to use on the underside of this. So actually set that aside, and now I can show you guys real quick how this is all going to get assembled, and we can officially delete the antenna. First, we'll go ahead and just pop open the trunk here. Again, sorry about the mess. I've been fishing a lot lately, so my trunk has just been filled with all sorts of gear, but we can go ahead and just set our little materials down right there, and I'll go ahead and grab the grommet as well as this little cap right here. So first things first, we'll grab this little grommet, and actually, you know what, I lied. First what we're gonna do is give this a little wipe, since it's got like some sun-stained little paint here, maybe some grime we can clean up. And just a little wipe there. It's not really gonna clean it up too much. I think I need to take a buffer to get that ring from the old antenna off of there, but for now, this will work. I just wanna make sure we're gonna use a clean surface to put all this stuff onto. So we can go ahead, like I said, grab this little grommet here, and what you wanna do is squeeze it into the hole, so that way the top line is obviously on the outside and the inner portion is on the inside of the trunk. So difficult to do with one hand. I'll show you guys this in a second. There we are. We have the grommet in there. It's actually really snug. This size ended up fitting perfectly. It was just too bad they didn't have one that was flat across the top, and that way it would be a full-on cap, because this would work literally perfect if it was just the capped version of this. But since they didn't have that, we're gonna use this guy here, and what I'm gonna do is pop this into it, and if I just kind of squeeze a bit, it will pinch itself within that gasket, and then we can go ahead and get the assembly all set from the inside. Okay, little plug is inserted in there. It's obviously not nearly as flush as that grommet that I was explaining would have been, but all in all, you know, it's not too bad. So what I'm gonna do is take the rubber washer first. Take the rubber washer first and put that onto the screw, and then I'm going to put this underneath the rubber washer, and then finally use this screw here to adhere the whole thing into place and basically pull this down into the grommet. I'm not going to use too much tension on this because this is supposed to act as a watertight seal with the rubber, so I'm hoping if I don't over tighten it, it should seal up pretty well. I take that back, guys. I pulled the assembly back out so that way I could just show you what I'm doing. So essentially what we had was this assembly, or this portion, the grommet and the cap wedged into the hole. And then next what I'm gonna do is on the underside here, going up, I'm going to take this rubber washer and slide it onto the screw. Again, so challenging with one hand. And I realized the washer that I had bought doesn't actually fit over this screw here. So what I'm gonna do, I had a couple washers laying around, so I've got this bigger one. Oh my gosh, so hard to do with one hand. I've got this bigger washer right here, and I'm gonna put that over the rubber washer first. That way we get some nice surface area for this to kind of push up against the metal on the underside. And I'm gonna take yet again another washer here, very small one, and then push it up and over this like that. And then finally, once we have this assembly here, I'm gonna take the screw and put it on the top there. So everything's gonna get wedged in kind of like this. So you've got small washer, bigger washer, rubber washer, grommet, and then this little cap with the screw on it. Now with the screw totally on there, that was probably the easiest little antenna delete I've ever done. Actually, the only one I've ever done, but that was really easy. So just had to kind of come up with an idea for this little setup, but I mean, it's on there and I can't really even twist it from up top. So I feel like it's pretty good. I guess time will tell if it's gonna stay watertight, but I feel like it will. This is a pretty tight rubber seal here, and I've got rubber washers on the underside, so I think we have accomplished a 3rd gen Prelude antenna delete. Just a quick video for you guys, but I wanted to get out here, do something with the Prelude, and like I said, the antenna has just not been working as good as it had before, so I figured may as well just delete it. I never listen to the radio anyways, and now every time I turn on the car, I'm not gonna have that stupid annoying mechanical sound going up of my antenna going up and down every time I go to turn the car on and off. So I'm actually just psyched about that, plus saved a little bit of weight getting rid of that entire antenna assembly, so better MPG as well. Guys, if you appreciated this video, give it a big thumbs up, and if you have any other ideas or other antenna ideas, put it down in the comments section. Otherwise, I will definitely see you guys on the next Prelude mod. Keep elevating, all that good stuff. Peace out.